And we're getting started today on a Regal. We're going to be removing the current flooring and prepping it to get ready to install a new floor. We're going to be using a maple that is in a Nordic color. It's more of a little white color, so it'll be a little different than what we normally do. But this should be a beautiful project once we get going and done. We're going to show you the steps throughout the way and how we go about it.
Yay, I'm super excited. Let's start ripping this baby apart.
Yeah,
here we go.
Tear it up. Okay, that one's down. These chrome stainless trim pieces will not be going back in. We like to do a perimeter sealant so that we'll space our flooring. See, this has got a real large gap right here. This floor doesn't need that much gap because it will not move. The floor we're putting in is it's a pre-engineered floor, but it's going to have relief cuts in the bottom side so it can move and do its thing naturally. So once this floor comes out, we get our new floor going in. We'll have a lot tighter gap, a tighter fit right here, but still enough room for it to move and do its thing. And then we'll do a perimeter sealant. That way we can't, we won't risk any moisture or water getting down under the flooring and doing any damage under the subfloor.
It'll look very clean, finished, without being bulky with base molding. Or choppy with the chrome finish, like the trim that they have here.
It just looks cleaner,
clean,
more finished.
Sweet, several more to go, and then we'll start taking apart the hatches.
All right, let's move back here to going into the rear stateroom aft. Disassembly and demo day is always fun. Then we get into the nitty-gritty precision stuff. That's
the not so fun part.
Not always the most fun, but it's what we do.
The first day and the last day of projects are always the best days. It's always the yay, we're tearing it apart to make it look pretty, and then it's not fun in the middle because it isn't fun. But then the last day we're like, yay, we can be done with this project, but it looks absolutely gorgeous.
So yeah, it does.
That's always the best.
Always awesome. But we're also going to be adding in a hatch underneath this staircase because there is a gray water tank that runs just this side of that hatch, right back there in that in the V-berth, and it stops just about center of this staircase here. So once this floor comes out, we're going to have to cut in a new opening. We've had this experience in the past where if that tank ever gets a leak, there's some hoses that go through and then pumps out the hull on the sides of this boat. So we want to provide an access just in case there's ever an issue with that tank. We've had to come in after the fact and cut these hatches in, and that's a real nightmare to get it done without looking like it was a second thought.
We want it to look like it was like that from factory.
Yeah, so we're going to go ahead once we get this all tore out, and then we're going to go ahead then and cut the hole in for the new hatch, frame in some cleats around the bottom side, and then construct a new hatch for it.
So check in. This is how the demolition progress is going for this Regal floor. And
I think they used a resin type of adhesive to put this down. And we've been an hour and a half, and we've got that little area that Sierra's standing on. That's been tore up, and this little area right here. And we're doing our best to save the subfloor. There's a couple spots that a little bit of it's come up, just little small chunks, but provided we can keep it going the way we have been, I think we'll be all right. We won't have to replace the subfloor, but I want to take back how demo day is so fun, because this floor is not being so nice to us right at the moment.
usually demo day is super exciting and it's super fun because we get to tear out the old and let the new come in. But this demo day is like, what?
Yes, I think they were using adhesives that you would have used to actually like resin a boat
Together with.
Keep in mind, folks, we're just putting in a floor. We're not literally building the boat.
Hopefully we can think of a better way. But so far, we've thrown out different ideas and no. This so far is the best way.
Yeah.
Oh, goodness.
Hammer and chisel, because you've got all these glues or whatever this resin stuff is, which is almost, it's still very tacky, but yet I don't know.
I don't know either.
I don't know what it is, but so once we get these all pulled up, we're going to go through and do this. Get the glue off. It's sticky. So we've got a good, clean, level surface to lay new flooring on. I don't know what weapon of choice I want to use at this point, but and being that it's tongue and groove,
It's interlocking.
it's really not coming apart all that well.
And we have a Sawzall with a scraper attachment, but the scraper attachment isn't strong enough to hold up to this, so it would end up breaking.
Yeah, we've tried it
an
before.
inch into it.
Yeah. So we're just gonna keep plugging away at this.
Because it's super fun and super
Next
awesome.
Christmas we'll have it done.
Next Christmas, oh dear heavens, I hope not.
Yeah, me neither. Yep, it's stuck. Whatever they use. I've always said I feel sorry for somebody that has to take out our floors that we install because we use some pretty nice adhesives that, but they cure actually, so they flex and they stay movable with the hull of the boat and the way that these floors will flex with the boat. So this stuff's a little bit too brittle, but yet it's got some, whatever it is, it's got some amazing holding power. So again, I feel bad for whoever has to tear our floors out because this is about what it would be like. So,
I don't know. I don't think it'd be that bad, honestly. Our stuff is a little bit more flexible, so
it will give more so than this product.
Yeah, I can almost guarantee that actually.
About time to sharpen some chisels. everyone, Brett and Sierra here with Woodline Productions. Today we are back on the Regal 46 Sport Coupe. We've gotten to the point where we've got about 3/4 of the salon laid. We are putting in a maple floor. It is stained Nordic white.
It's beautiful.
It is very beautiful floor.
It is really beautiful.
We have added a hatch underneath the staircase that was not there from factory. In the years past, we've had a couple issues with a water tank leaking, and we've been requested to come in and cut the floors up and have to install this hatch to access this tank.
So create a new hatch in a floor that already exists can be quite the challenge, especially after a floor is put in, especially with one of our previous clients. We had installed the floor about 5 years prior to a new boat owner taking ownership, and they called us in and they're like, we need a hatch put in. And so now that we have this floor out, we've decided let's just cut to the chase and put a new floor or a new hatch in.
Yeah, hopefully it will never be needed in the future, but if that need arises for a tank repair, then there is access available without going in and cutting up a beautiful floor. So
you never know. Better safe than sorry.
So here's the hatch opening and border that we have that will slide into the rough cut in the floor of the boat. This is going to slide, it drops in, and then we have this lip that we have created around this, that the actual hatch itself will set in. We have not yet created the drop-in portion cover of the hatch, but that's to come. This is all really duplicated of the hatches that currently exist in the boat.
So we match the design to the hatches that are already in the boat with the manufacturing of this hatch. So then it matches and it looks like it's from factory and it wasn't an afterthought.
Yeah, no. We try to keep everything. If there's something already original that we're not going to redo, we will do everything in our power to get it to match what exists from factory, so that everything flows real smooth and looks nice throughout the boat when the project's complete. This is ready to go as far as we know. We've cut the floor and sized everything appropriately, we hope. We're going to go in, we're going to drop this in the opening and make sure that it all fits. So
fingers crossed.
Yep. But,
hopefully that we won't have to recut some flooring to do that. This was a couple day project all in all, between getting the subfloor prepped and ready to accept a brand new hatch, considering there's no hole there before, and then the manufacturing of this, and just getting it ready for the new floor to butt into it. And we have some flooring cut for the hole, so now we get to go drop this in, make sure it all fits, it's all ready to go.
Yeah, our plank widths always, you usually end up, you have to notch one of the planks to make everything fit. And anyway, with any luck, this is going to work out perfect.
And now we get to go see and make sure it is perfect.
Yep. Okay. Here is the access, the opening that we have cut in this floor underneath this staircase. And as you can see, there is a water tank down in there. And that tank, in our past experiences and through requests of other clients, needs an access. These two hatches do not access this tank because the main stringers of this boat run approximately right here and right here. So it blocks off accessibility from these hatches to that tank. The hatch up in this room is the other end of the tank, and that is accessible just on that end. So this water tank runs basically from right about here down to right here under this center tread. You can see down in there. And with any luck, this is going to fit the way it is supposed to.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Oh yeah, that's just wonderful. Nice fit. So yes, you can see that it does match the design. These hatches are going to get rebuilt. They're not the correct. Those hatches, the actual hatch itself is going to go away, and we will create new ones so everything on the inner portion is uniform and all the same throughout this boat. So that's that. We're going to keep laying floor, this section right here. This yet needs to be completed. And then we can move up into this front stateroom and get that cut. This is all dry fit currently. Once we are comfortable and satisfied with the fit of the floor, then we will tape these together, say 2 planks width at a time. They come out, they get a number, and then the floor gets a number corresponding, starting with 1 to however many it requires. And then we install the floor for the final install, and that gets glued in with a flexible marine adhesive so that it can accommodate any flex within the hull, and we don't get any popping or planks that want to come loose. We leave a slight air gap between our subfloor and our plank. That helps reduce the chances of any condensation or moisture buildup, and it allows the floor to breathe and move and do what it wants to do naturally.
So this is a boat we're on. It's a Regal. It's a sport coupe, 46 foot. So we'll hop on in and see how the project's coming. Okay, so what I'm going to do is start laying out some flooring for you, and then we can start working on the curves. And between the two of us, if I start laying it out and you start working on the curves, and I'll start cutting the behind the hatch. Okay. If that's okay.
Yep. This piece has already got the angle cut for the foot under the couch, and it fits good. So this one needs to be cut at 33.5. That'll go here. We need to measure out for our table base to route that. Unless you want to
I won't forget
put
to
a mark on it.
Yeah.
Maybe we could, before we stand, how about a piece of tape?
Yeah.
All right.
And then as soon as you get that piece cut and fit into its spot, I can start working on the pieces for behind the hatch.
Yep.
Because then the hatch will have its home.
Okay.
Against that plank.
All right. Be right back.
Okay. Okay. So we try and have varying seams throughout the floor. So I have a seam right here, so I need to try and have a seam that comes down into here so it has a even flow. We're very picky about our floors and how they look. Obviously with intricate cuts, but also with seam placement. We want to make sure that everything makes sense, even if it isn't in perfect order, if that makes sense. So we try and be very picky, or we are very picky, in how we choose our flooring for the look of the planks and also of the seams. I don't think we need to...
Are we good on that one?
I think we are. I don't think we need to do a radius cut on that.
No, that one is totally good because the base foot for the sofa is on this plank.
Okay.
And then we don't run into another one until, where did I pull them? Right here. But that one can go in after the floor is glued because this one was not accessible.
Okay.
These are all loose and unscrewed inside the sofa currently.
Okay.
Wrong end. There we go.
Thanks.
Yep. I cut the, Oh, really? Okay. Well, that's okay because we can move this one. Right here.
Yeah. Do I take that plank out?
Go ahead and slide. Let's loosen both of these up off the joint. Okay. We'll lift this and then we can slide all of this.
There we go. Come on now. Need to put my hair up.
Okay, just a second. Let me.
Perfect. Okay.
Okay.
How far back do you want to go? It's right there. Am I seeing that right?
Actually, this does run on top of the carpet. So do we want to radius that? See it down in here?
Yeah, we probably should make that off.
Okay, then,
Yeah, let's go. Here's a pencil.
all right, I'll just trace this outline right here.
Okay, I am going to grab another plate. And now that the hatch is set, I'm going to start working on.
What does that measure? Just center.
Okay.
Then we can drill the hole in the floor and route it. So from the edge of the hatch, 3 1/4.
Yep. See, look how pretty this plank is. I want to show you up close. Look at the grain variation, the discoloration, even through the stain. So you have some grain here that's in a sense like a loose grain, but then it gets tighter over here and you have a little knot right here. And so it's a very pretty floor. Maple is gorgeous, obviously, especially with the Nordic finish, the white finish on it. But we try and be very specific, and so we don't get too matchy in picking out our floors. We have some variation and coloring and also grain throughout, and that way it's beautiful all the way across, and we don't get clumps of color or of the same grain. We try and keep that variation going throughout the floor so it stays beautiful. So this plank is going to go here, and then I have to measure my back side of the hatch, and I'll show you a little bit about what that's about. So right there is what then needs to get measured now, and I'm going to go ahead and do that. Brent got the radius cut.
This just fits cleanly underneath the sofa, the contour of where it needs to be without interfering with any wires and whatnot under here. So
let me get that plank out of the way. That one's the next one.
okay. These are the pieces between the hatch and the rear stateroom.
And the one that you marked on the other side of the hatch.
Okay.
Okay, let's go see.
Awesome.
Okay.
Should be good to go. That fits the hatch.
Here we see the result of what we just saw Brent doing. He was cutting out a piece of flooring that goes around the hatches. These hatches go in those spaces, and we stain and finish the wood to match the color of the floor for a seamless look. At this point, the floor is now glued in, but it isn't quite finished yet. As we see here, we leave a space between the floor and the wall, just to give the flooring a little extra wiggle room to breathe as it expands and contracts. Since it isn't quite perfect, at least to our standards, we go back through and we put a sealant to close that gap. And then that way we don't have to use any material such as base molding to create a bulky look. Having the sealant the same color as the floor creates a flawless look that's beautiful. Brent and Sierra with Woodline Productions here, and we are done with the Lillie Mae. It is the Regal Sport Coupe, and we tore out the old wood flooring. We put in the new maple flooring. It has the Nordic finish. It's absolutely beautiful.
It turned out really nice.
It did turn out nice. We redid just about did redo every part of the flooring.
All of the floor. We did add a access hatch to a water tank. I think we showed that earlier in another video, but
We did.
it's a finished done deal now, so it's exciting. I just finished loading all the tools back up in the truck, so I'm gonna let you keep talking because I'm out of breath.
Well, that is, I guess the best part of it is that we're done. It's clean. Finishing touches are completed, so now let's go check it out.
That would be.
Thanks so much for joining us on the Lillie Mae. We hope that you fell in love with this floor as much as we did, and as much as the owners did. For more information, visit our website, woodlinepro.com. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel, hit the notification bell, like this video, and if you absolutely fell in love with this floor, leave a comment. Thanks again, and we'll see you on the next project.